Hey all, hopefully you can hear me. We're at Michigan. Caution just came out. I'm leading, using a real radical setup. It's looking good, but at the same time it's a little bit off. And I'm just struggling to find a balance. Similar to the Charlotte setup situation, this is a faster track. I think the entering the turns at 200 instead of 190 make a big difference to the setup. It builds tight. I widened out with, in race adjustments. I widened out. Well, let's start. Before the race, I adjusted the cambers because it was getting a lot of left front tire wear. So I adjusted the cambers down like I did in the Charlotte setup, and took it a little bit further. But it's still wearing the left front. Not bad. It's not bad at all. I think I got close to a full run last stage, and it was only 3% more wear on the left front. So that wasn't bad at all. Part of the issue is, I wasn't engaging the left rear at all. Well, I got it much closer. But if you see it's 164, it should be like 180 right now in order to get it involved the way it needs to be. So I'm building tight. I think I also have too much front weight. The Xfinity car doesn't like front weight, so what I will have to do is, this setup is good. It's good enough to win the race. But what happens is, I think I got like 40 laps of gas, right? So we had 30 lap stages. Well, 15 laps I pull out, and I actually go lead, which I've never been able to do at Michigan. Just pull out and get out of the draft and get out front. And so I was very excited about that. But about 15 laps or so in, it equalizes speed-wise with the AI cars, and then we run about the same speed for the next 15 laps. But if I make one little misstep here or there, I lose a tenth, I lose a half a tenth over a couple laps. So they start pulling back on me. So we just had a caution. And I was hoping we'd go caution-free so I could see what's going on. But basically, the issue that I'm having is, and it's probably the high wedge thing, is no matter what I do, the left front runs hot. Right now it's about where it should be, but as we go down the road, it stays hot. Or it gets hotter. Because it builds tight. This is one of those tracks that builds tight. So I got like maximum stagger on it. I just lowered the stagger a little bit to put another half pound in the right rear. Yeah, I know. Real radical stuff. It's not slow, but like I said, it builds tight. When it builds tight, it doesn't hold the bottom off the turns, middle off. So I kind of lose a little bit of speed because of that. And they start pulling back on me. If I lap cars, then I seem to create a better cushion. So, but you have to have a long enough run because it's a 2-mile track. So it takes a fair amount to lap cars here. Doesn't happen so easy. When I pitted, no one else did. Early on, I think I restarted like 28th, you know, so there's that. And they're not slow. I like that they're not slow. They're pretty fast, which is kind of making me rethink the ARCA deal, because like I don't want to create a situation where ARCA is the most competitive of all the series I'm going to be running. I'd like it to be a little bit easier, so when I'm not feeling well, I can just take whatever setup I have and just go out there and have a shot to win. So I'm debating on how to do that. Now, I kind of loosened it up for the long run, so it's not hitting fives. They are on a little bit older tires than me, so I should be able to pull out here like I did earlier. But as you notice, and I'm noticing, I'm about twice as much wear on the right rear as I've had in the past. But also I'm not running out front. Pull out. See? It kind of slides up a little bit. And that's fine against the AI because they kind of do the same thing. But in a league race, nah, you got to get that down. And I have ideas on how I'm going to do that. But speed-wise, I've slowed it down a little for the longer run. But speed-wise, this thing runs, except for a very early fire off, it tends to run like a cup car speed-wise. Speed through the turns, speed off the turns. I've gained about 5 miles an hour, which is where the speed is, right? This is the kind of speed I see in my cup car. I won a race here, figuring that the slowest I had to run in the cup car was a 39.2. Now this slows down to a 39.4, and you'll probably see me do 5s and 6s because the handling is a bit off. I had to adjust it that way. But it's capable of doing it. I'm in the ballpark. I just got to get these adjustments right. I gotta take the burden of the handling off the left front and put it on the left rear, which is an issue that I have at a lot of tracks. The left rear just doesn't do anything. And you can put it all on the right rear, but that tends to kill your maneuverability, especially late in the run. So you're just hanging on for dear life. So switching it to the left rear more, not all, where it's at least wearing equal with the other tires. Those are the fastest setups and best maneuvering setups I have. Those are the ones I brag I can run, one-handed. Even a little bit wear on the rear as opposed to the front. It all depends on how it, on the track and how it handles. Like a setup at Daytona and Talladega that I run, both rear tires tend to wear a little bit more than the fronts, which lets it slip through the turns a little bit, less friction and better handling, so it doesn't slide up the track like I'm doing right here. Yep. I made it very slidey. Well, as long as I stay in front, and I got 26 laps with 33 to go, right? So even if I pit right when, at the end of the run there, because I have a feeling there'll be another caution. 15 laps, I know I can pull away, and I can tighten it up a little bit. I put the setup back a little bit like it was. See, it's tightening up. See? The right front and the right rear temp-wise are kind of more equal right now. And that's, you know, like 10 laps. And that is catching me. Slowed it down too much. Because he's on old tires and he shouldn't be able to, I should be stepping away from him. But then again, these guys aren't that much slower than me. The biggest lead I've been able to, you know, get before traffic gets involved is about 3.8 seconds. And they do get faster as the race goes on. Especially like the one or two guys that are running right behind me. Yeah, way slower. I think I'm gonna have to fit with them. See that left front? I lowered that camber, but it's still like 20 degrees. It in the turn, it gets like only about 15 degrees, but it's still too much. And it's not pulling, I had to slow down a lot there. It's not pulling the left like I like it. I'm not getting loose off, but I mean, I made it very loose in the long run. So you might start to see me get loose now, but I haven't been at all. So, which is how I know there's, you know, there's more speed here. Man, I'm pulling them down the straightaways, so you know, I got a good setup. See here, I'm just losing it. I'm just sliding up. A good run off though. So basically I killed my grip in the turns because the in-race adjustments I did are probably not the right ones for the off-track settings, like track bars. I upped the track bar a bit on the right side, so it's probably hurting me. There, see, there's a 39.6. So if I was running my 39.4 or about 39.3 at this point, I'd be pulling away from him like 0.2 of a second, but I handicapped myself unknowingly. See, what's happening is I'm entering the turn, right? If you look, I balanced it, but I balanced it in a way, and I get like this before I nail a setup down. Both right sides are losing grip because they're equal. You know, the front is not gripping more than the rear. They're both equally getting less grip. Which is not what you want at a track like this. See, I'm not losing much, I'm just losing a little bit, but that's all you need to lose. So instead of pulling away, you know, like 0.2 a lap, I'm trading the lead back and forth. So we gotta tighten it up a little bit. Ooh, big run. I could have done a fuel thing. See, because they got more grip, they can run, stay in the gas a lot further into the turns. I could have done a fuel thing. I'm not in the mood. My goal of this race is 10th, so unless I totally screw up, which is always possible, I should nail down a 10th at least. But we still all got a pit stop coming up. And there's the caution. Okay, now I have an opportunity to unfuck myself. You know what? Let's do that. We'll do that. Oh, look at that. Okay, well, here we go. So I put the wedge back the way it was. I left, if you followed, I left the rest of the setup the way I had it in the last run. Put the tape back up to 35. That actually, arrow-wise, it tends to make you looser off, and since I'm getting tight middle off, that should help a bit. I could put it up more, but I'd rather not. So we got 21 laps. If I can pull out to like 3.8 seconds, or over 3 seconds, and stay there for 15 laps, they're not going to be able to catch me. I'm already a second and a half in front of them. This is what engineers do. Engineers, race strategists, all racing series, you know, all the top racing series today, is they do all those calculations, and then they tell the driver, you know, in these games, you got to do this all yourself. Unless you got a buddy who just wants to watch and loves to, you know, wants to be an engineer slash crew chief. You know, crew chief would do stuff like that, but crew chief is still a race strategist, but you get so much information, and then, you know, like the crew chief decides what to tell the driver and how to do it, and, you know, it depends on crew chief driver relationship. You know, some drivers just like, I know Dale will be like, you know, just Dale Jr. will be like, just tell me what to do. Tell me what to do, I'll do it. And don't give me, okay, we're gonna pit to hedge our bet here. Yeah, we're looking good. We'll be good. Let's do that. Because we'll have fresher tires. 29th! See, we didn't lap anybody. Okay, 29th to first. And how many laps? Tapping a brake, timing it. There we go. 16 laps. Something a little different. I look. It actually turned. And I remember for this run, I have fresher tires. So I more than likely will make it up front in plenty of time. And see how fast it fires off when I have it tightened up? Just like I said, after about 15 laps, it wasn't, you know, it was losing speed, and they were catching me. But what I did, like I said, is I put the wedge back and the tape back, but I left the tire pressure adjustment, which may actually give me a full 15 laps faster. See once I get out front. I got really good runs off the turns with this setup. Drooling over, coming back here. I think the Cup car, I'm going to race the Cup car here next. So we'll get to have more fun. Maybe fine tune the setup. Look at that. Yeah, I know it's draft too, but I mean, I'm already catching them, regardless of the draft. I couldn't do that before. Hold them and pull them. Yep. See here, it gets a little tight. And that builds, you know, just a little bit. Aim for the green light there. So normally I'm running about 195 into turn 3 in Xfinity. Later on 192. But as you notice there, on 199. Overall, I picked up about 2/10 over my old setup. Very good. See, it starts to just go wide. I mean, if you're not racing anybody, you're in the lead. You want it to go wide because that's where the speed is anyway. But if you're like coming down to the end of the race, and like most of these online races are, you got 4 or 5 guys, 8 or 9 guys sometimes fighting for position. You need more maneuverability, and I don't have it in this setup. I have speed, but I don't have maneuverability. So I did work on it. I'm, you know, not feeling the best today, and I gave it about half an hour to adapt it. But I didn't. I just was like losing, you know, losing battle, and I'm like, okay, if I put the weight down, I'm gonna have to spend at least another half an hour tuning that in. So I said, well, let's just get the race in. Let's see what it's doing, and confirm what I've been thinking. Probably need to bring the weight down and then tune it to that for Xfinity. So next time we're in that situation, we will take the setup and we will start with a low weight. And, you know, save us some time. So we pulled out a 1 second lead. We got about 7-8 laps to go. Got 14 laps of gas. We're still favoring the right rear, just not as much as we need to. The left front is okay, but it's still wearing a little bit more and tightening us up. The left rear is better engaged, but it's not where we need it to be. So I would say for this setup, it's probably about 90 to 95% of where I want it to be. Hopefully we'll get it there. See, there's another 5/10. Right, we're sliding up, see? We're sliding up. Another thing to look for, which is why the setup isn't terrible and handling good, even though it's not handling the way I want, is left front, right rear. If you can keep the wear on those even, you have a good long run setup. might not have a great long run setup, and you might not be maneuverable, but it'll stay fairly consistent, fast, and you should be able to drive through most issues like the tight here and just making it work. I know if you're looking at the tire temps, the right rear is wearing more than the other tires, right? So it should be loose. Because right rear hot, right rear wearing, that's loose. But the setup is actually very balanced. So what we're doing is we're burning the right rear off. So if you notice coming out of the turns here, it's coming up, coming up, coming up. The right front is pretty much staying stagnant because it's gripping. So it's just a little off. But that little off is what I want to close the gap on. 1.8 seconds or 4 laps to go. 1.9. I think they caught up to me speed-wise. But I'm not too tight. So that adjustment I did make actually seems to have helped. I don't really, for many setups, I don't really recommend starting off under 20 on the left side tires, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do in race adjustments in particular. 3 laps, 9 laps of gas. That 4 was during practice. That was a full 10 faster than my last record here, and I did do a 5:01 during the race. Yeah, that was cool. That was in the lead too. I backed it up with a number of 5s before I started really changing the setup. Yep, so our fresher tires and adjustment seemed to have helped. Since I ran a 2 there, I really should still be on the 0. But it's tightening up. See? Sliding. Making it work. But they're slowing down because we got like what, 5-10 laps fresher tires. And this will be it, right? Oh, one more lap. Gets tight in, and that's that. See the left front, 230. At this point, you want it to be down by 200. Ideally, you want both left sides around 200. About halfway through the run, at least, if not sooner. And we brought it home. Like I said, I worked hard for that, but setup was really good. You know, we took it to the next level. So this version setup that I have is really, really working on these banked ovals. I got something to try at the flat tracks. See, I was never really challenged except for that, I guess when you guys, when I started the video, going back and forth for the lead there. That was where I was vulnerable. That's where I was basically running the same speed, and the tightness, you know, was killing me. Out in the lead, you know, I have a better chance because I am fast of maintaining speed by basically using the whole track to, you know, to get every iota of speed out of it here. No, this is earlier on. We had a caution and I went to the back. You see that big gap? You know, that's like a 4-second gap, 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds. I never had that here in the Xfinity car. I figured to set out for Michigan in the truck, and then I added what I was doing to it, and it's just been a tremendous leap in performance, which is always a cool thing. It's always a cool thing to bring a hot rod to the track. Again, you know, it's a process, and it took me, we'll easily say, 5 years. You know, and part of that is, you know, I had some mentors and stuff, and I basically the version of the setup I'm running is more like what I ran 30 years ago, and I figured out 30 years ago, and it's working. Whereas a lot of the fast guys say, don't do that, you know, don't do that. Just do this, and then just loosen it up, and so on and so forth. But man, I got settings. I'm gonna use them, and I'm gonna make it drive better. You know, sometimes like Dover, when I practiced here when I was working, adapting the adjustments. Here's that back and forth time. Go down into turn one for the first time, and you can feel it. You know, you can feel it. It's like it just wants to turn in. And that was great. And this setup does that, but then after about 10, 15 laps, it starts to slide up. It won't hold the white line anymore, especially middle off. So you have to arc it and do all kinds of things. But, you know, you get these guys that are running, you know, just as fast as you, but they got it loosened up more. They can hold the white line. They might have trouble holding it off the turn, but they can hold the white line. And, you know, certainly in a short lap situation towards the end of the race, you know, it'll probably beat you. So I gotta fix that. I was very happy with the speed. Okay, so that was that caution. This is the last run. We restarted, what, 28th? 14 laps to go. It's fun. You know, I'll be honest with you. I pit, you know, for fun. I mean, there's nothing like, you know, dicing up through traffic with these guys. And then finally taking the lead. That's why I race. Only 104 speed rating? Wow. Oh, I gotta fix that. Yep, won everything. Tremendous day. Let's see how much money we got. 258, not bad. 160 merch. That merch number keeps going up and up. We are killing it in playoff points, stage wins. We got 7 wins on the season. Yeah, we got the car finally worked up to 100%. If anything, we're just down a mechanic or two. 99 out of 125 laps. Yeah, need one more car. I gotta look. I know. I think it's a Speedway car. You know, one of the things I don't like, I mean, this is a list, but comes to mind right now, is like if I get a car, I can't sell it. I have to keep it. So the type of car you get is critical. So if you get, you know, too many short track cars or too many Speedway cars, you just got to deal with it, and you probably end up running. Look at that, 80. That's the best you can do after going through a race. So the mechanics need to work on it the least. But you only get maximum of 12, right? So 80 goes up to 92. So you still have to spend 2 weeks getting it back to 100%. So little things like that, but you know. Oh, and then, so, success at Michigan. And let's see. Michigan. So we're going to go back to Michigan, but we have a problem. Okay, what do we got? Michigan, Sonoma, and Chicago. Oh, gee. Okay. Well, Sonoma I have a good setup for, but I don't run good at Sonoma at all. And I'm not going to cheat or nothing and lower the difficulty. We're just going to go to Sonoma and stick it out. But Michigan, I should be able, I'm going to bet, I should be able to get in the top 5. Chicagoland, I should be able to get in the top 5. So 2 top 5s in 3 races is pretty ballsy. But I'm going to go for it. Might as well. I mean, it's 600,000 versus 200,000. Yeah. Yeah, because that I'd probably do at all 3 tracks. But here, yeah. Okay, so we got challenge accepted. And yeah, the cup race, I was going to say, we're going to have a little bit of an issue because somehow we made a rival of Denny Hamlin. And what happens in this game when you have a rival is, like, every time you get around him, he tends to hit you and do things to you that you really don't want if you're trying to, you know, finish well or win races. So we have that added difficulty coming on. So that will be next time. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, ask questions, and we will see you next time.